In this video I'm going to show you how you can play the Guzheng in Garageband for iPad. So a Guzheng is another traditional Chinese zither-like instrument, and it's got 21 strings and it's tuned standardly to a major pentatonic scale. It's played by picking or plucking the strings with the right hand and pushing or pulling the strings with the left hand to change the pitch and create vibrato. The Yaoji tremolo technique involves rapidly picking a string inward and outward, a bit like the other sorts of tremolo that you can find on other Chinese instruments. This one is particular to the Guzheng, and we're going to have a look at that right now. So to access the Guzheng, you cycle over to the world instruments, which is nestled between guitar and drummer, and then you'll find the Guzheng on the bottom right hand side of the window. Tap on Guzheng will take you straight into the notes view, and if you have a little strum, we're going to switch to the chords view, our favourite view for getting instantly into a particular instrument. And we are literally going to play a glissando by swiping a chord strip up and down to play that glissando, that sliding up and down. And then we're also going to tap to play individual notes. So here's a slide. And then tapping individual notes. Okay, that's quite nice to be able to do that. So we get the difference between the glissando and the single notes as well in the chord view. Autoplay then, we've got these. Likewise with the erhu, you can only use one finger touch on this. You cannot do 2 and 3 like you can with the bass and the guitar. You can then have a look at the other autoplay in your own time. Next we're going to look at the note view, which looks a lot more scary, but actually is really good fun because ultimately it is about using these strings and tapping them to play the notes. You can tap individual strings, or you can strum them. You can also, while tapping a string, drag it left or right to change the pitch. Drag back and forward to create vibrato. So let's show you this one. So we're going left and right here. And then drag back and forth to create vibrato. Which is quite tricky because you do end up accidentally touching other strings, but with a bit more control you'd end up quite nicely. Again, you can strum them like a guitar, just swipe from the top to the bottom or bottom to the top, like that, which is very, very nice. And you can mute the strings, you can tap or swipe the strings to play the notes, then tap the area to the left of the strings to mute them. So tap around this area here, so you can strum your instrument, and then tap to mute. And you can see that when you mute, it mutes all the strings all at once, and that's quite nice. Playing harmonics, you can touch and hold the area to the left of the strings and then play the note by tapping or swiping the strings. So here, tapping, that's a really lovely effect that for harmonics. So just tapping anywhere to the left of the strings will hold them all down, and then you can get some really lovely effects. We can then change from the major pentatonic scale to other ones if you want to. If you wanted to try some blues, for example, in a minor key, you could try that. And so you can do some really unusual effects with that. And then if you weren't sure with the notes, you could go into chords and then you can have a lot of fun. You'll still be in your minor blues scale. You can, in both of these areas, have zoomed in versions. So you've got two different timbres there. You've got a picking sound, which you can get by playing the strings in the right zoom box. And then the plucking sound, you tap it in the left. Okay, so you've got that option as well, so that's a really nice feature. So zooming in can really help with smaller hands get to where you need to. So the Yaoji tremolo then, this is at the very bottom. You can see here then a tremolo. If you have a listen, if you touch and hold the Yaoji slider while playing, control the tremolo speed by moving your finger left or right. So let's have a go of that now. So that's by using 2-finger control, and I found it easier to use this zoom to be able to use that and then to slide from left and right to the bottom as well, and that was really, really nice. So really interesting performance effects you can get on this instrument. I urge you to have a go and have a lot of fun with that. So again, I'm going to include all of the words I've used in the glossary, and you'll be able to find lots more information about that in there as well. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how you can play the koto in Garageband for iPad. But for now, thank you very much for watching this one. Have a lot of fun making some new music, and I'll see you in the next one.